Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your neighborhood Unitarian Universalist congregation. Good morning. My name is Suzanne Mazars. I'm the music director here, and I have your announcements. Many announcements today. Just means we are an active, involved community with lots going on. For example, you're hearing our spirit choir. We rehearse Monday nights from 7 to 9. If you're interested in joining the choir, talk to me after service. We sing at one service a month. Also, on Wednesday evenings, Hatha Yoga has started, led by Christina Keel from 7:30 to 9. You need to bring your own yoga mat. She's here in the front row of the soprano section. You can talk to her about yoga if you'd like to learn more. A new show is beginning October 29th, which is next Sunday, running till December 31st. So this is your last chance to have a look at our current exhibition. Coming up is Between Worlds by artist Geraldine Mannion and Roots and Wings with photography by Michael Moon. Thank you so much to Lauren for organizing the gorgeous art in our space, keeping it a creative, colorful space. Beautiful. Fall Charity Drive. You have a week left to consider donating $100, getting a tax receipt, and dedicating a chair to a loved one. Forms are in the cappuccino room. As I said, this is an offer only open till next Tuesday, a week Tuesday. Plates will be installed in November. Talk to Lauren. There's Lauren.
Please do it. We've got lots of chairs with no names that just are not necessarily in the space.
Become a peace ambassador for neighborhood. Neighborhood's Healthy Congregations Committee, called our HCC, seeks members to act as peace ambassadors for the congregation. There will be conflict resolution training on Saturday from 9 to 4. If you are interested in this role, you will need to do this training. Please speak to Bruce Line from the HCC to learn about this role. And Bruce is working our sound desk today. You can talk to him after service to hear more. Coming up is a concert in our space, Roots and Wings, Healing Sound Bath and Sacred Songs with UU Michael Moon. Performing amidst his beautiful photography show, Michael will hold a sacred evening of healing sounds and ceremonial songs to ground into self and soar into spirit. Vibraphone, flute, guitar, crystal bowls, gongs, and voice will carry us on the Roots and Wings of sound. That'll be the evening of Saturday, November 25th. On Friday, November 10th at 7, here in our Rafos Hall, in our month of Roots and Wings, UUism, past, present, and future, take a trip through local UU history, courtesy of Don Heights member and music director, Sheila White. Sheila will talk about her new book, The Letters, Postmark Prejudice in Black and White, documenting her parents' interracial love story. She also will share photos and memories of their trailblazing contributions to building Unitarian Universalism in Toronto. You can speak to Moira, who is also in the front row of the soprano section today, if you have any questions. Let's make a deal. The fundraising team have brought in, with everyone's help, over 100 new or almost new high-quality vintage items and gift certificates for the auction. Let John or Pat know if you have any donations, and the website with all of the items in our auction goes live next Saturday, and I believe Kim is something to say about it. Wait a sec.
There's still time to bring in your treasures. You can email Pat or John in regards to what you can bring in. You can canvas if you're feeling really risky. Go to your businesses that you frequent. And some items that we have gift cards from grocery stores, a gift card from a cannabis shop, we have massages. Oh, and if you do a service, you can always offer a service. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Kim. Monthly Jewish folk dancing offered by the Danforth Multi-Faith Commons. Join the DJC and others No dance experience is necessary. You can expand your dance repertoire, meet new folks, and explore one of the fun facets of Jewish culture. They are always on Sundays, starting at 4:15. Next Sunday, November 19th and December 17th, finishes off the year. You'll get more information about that in the Monday email. And if you are not yet on our mailing list, if you write to office@nuuc.ca, you will then be signed up to receive our weekly Monday mail out. Back one, please. There we go. Multi-Faith Vigil, organized by Neighborhood and our partners through the East Toronto Multi-Faith Community, is happening next Sunday. Come together to grieve as people from our different faith communities. This will be an apolitical vigil with Jewish, Muslim, Christian, and Unitarian faith leaders offering us prayer and words of comfort during this shared time of tragedy. That's next Sunday at 3 p.m. at Withrow Park at the north end near the clubhouse. Note, it has been asked that event details not be shared on social media. If you have any questions, you can talk to our representative, Laura, who's in the back row of the alto section. Choristers, you're so active. I love it. The CUC, October CUC newsletter is out. Stay informed on important issues happening in the wider Canadian UU community. You can sign up on their website to have those newsletters delivered directly to your inbox. Later in our service today, we will be asking this question to the community. When did someone widen the circle to let you in? Have a think about that. We will be posing this question later on in the service to you. And next Sunday, October 29th, our topic will be Samhain. Our speaker will be Kendrew Pape. We'll set up in a circle and have the drums out to do a drum circle to celebrate the holiday. You're also welcome to bring in your own percussion instruments if you have your favorites you'd like to play. And our service weaver will be Deb Burdison.
Good morning. Good morning. Come back to life. Am I on? No? No? Okay. My name is Peter Marmorek. I'll be your service weaver today. It's a pleasure to have you share the service with us, whether you're here in person at the Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Congregation or watching us online and listening via Zoom. Let's start by grounding ourselves. Put your feet flat on the floor. Feel the energy going down from your feet, the energy that goes all the way down through our basements, through the multiple levels, through the bowling alley, and down into the heart of Mother Earth. And then feel that energy coming back up through your feet, rising up through your body, bringing you together fully. Now that you're grounded and present, we'll cast a sacred circle, and I invite you to help doing this by reading our invocation. Let us cast the circle of a sacred space here. Let us cast the circle of a cherished space here. A space of safety, a place of forgiveness, a place of love. If we want the world to change, we must craft in our space and in ourselves the seeds that grow a different kind of life. A life of graciousness, of creative intelligence, a place of life and spirit for ourselves and our families. And I invite Moira up to light our chalice. And now the Spirit Choir will sing our prelude.
Draw
Thank you. I begin by recognizing the traditional territory we are on today. Those of us here in person are on the lands of the Mississaugas, the Anishinaabeg, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Wendat. I invite those of you on Zoom to consider the lands that you are on. I also recognize the continuing presence here of many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. This meeting place is the home to people from across Turtle Island. I recognize the historical and existing power dynamics between settlers and Indigenous peoples, as well as the obligation of settlers to redress it. I recognize not all peoples were brought to Turtle Island willingly, and I acknowledge the dehumanizing legacy of slavery and indentured labor, and I will continue to disrupt this legacy by working towards justice and liberation. Good morning and welcome. Hi, guys. Our musical director is Suzanne Mazars. Our director of lifespan learning is Julia Thompson. Today, our message will be given by our minister, Reverend Pat Trudeau. Our Zoom and AV tasks are being handled by the most excellent team of Natalie Zend and Bruce Line. We are grateful to all of them. Unitarian Universalists are open to many beliefs and learn from many traditions. We try to widen the circle, a phrase I suspect you'll be hearing again today. We welcome anyone who's looking for a spiritual community. If this is your first time with us, please stay around after service and learn more about who we are and what we do. There'll be a breakout room on Zoom where you can chat to other people. Every service here is different, so please come to a number and get a sense of the range we have in what we do. A reading from our Rock Covenant chest, what one congregant covenanted to do this year was simply to be here fully. And I would ask that we all follow in his, her, their footsteps, and all of us covenant to be here fully. In October, we're focusing on the theme of becoming more deeply connected by widening the circle. Last week, Reverend Atkinson spoke of widening the circle by raising our gaze from right in front of us to the aspirations of a sunny hill. Next week, Kendrew Pape will widen the circle to include those on both sides of the veil. Today, we look at widening the circle of concern, a UU initiative to help us broaden our understanding of social justice and its implementation within our communities. Mary Bryan said, as she helped to advance this work in the UUA, breaking down my personal barriers and connecting with people is liberation for my heart. I've been thinking, of course, a lot about Israel and Palestine this week and my personal journey of widening. As many of you know, Judaism is my religion of origin. And as many of you don't know, there's a Marmorek Street in Tel Aviv named after great-great-uncle Alexander, who was an early Zionist socialist who worked with Theodor Herzl. So I grew up learning Jewish history and learned to see Israel as the plucky little David surrounded by Arab Goliath bullies. And it wasn't until I had the good fortune to study with Noam Chomsky and began to meet and have Palestinian friends that I learned about the Nakba, the catastrophe that had befallen Palestinians in 1948 when Israel was created. But when I did learn that story, I recognized that the deeper story of the Holy Land, like all other stories of other Holy Lands, didn't have a good side and a bad side. Rather, both sides had good people and both sides had morally confused people. And to heal this world, we have to be able to embrace the good and talk to the confused, whatever side they're on. I always come back to Alexander Solzhenitsyn's profound observation. If only it were all so simple. If only there were evil people insidiously committing evil deeds, and it was necessary only to separate them from the rest of us and destroy them. But the line dividing good and evil cuts through the heart of every human being. And who is willing to destroy a piece of his own heart? Following on Solzhenitsyn's thought, I wanted to share about the multi-faith vigil that you've heard about. It'll take place after next week's service, 3 hours later. It's an apolitical vigil with members and religious leaders from a wide range of different communities, and I'd invite you there. You'll hear more about that, but now it's time to greet your neighbors. And after you've greeted a few, turn to the back wall, look at the camera that's next to the projector, and greet the people who are joining us on Zoom. Suzanne will sound a chime to end.
Hi, Natalie.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
And
Hi.
Susan and
Hi.
Myrna, Sigrid.
Natalie.
Hey,
Hi,
Natalie,
Helen.
good job. You're doing a great
Hi,
job.
Easy, thank you. Nice to you all.
Myrna. Hi, Susan.
And Helen.
That's it. Yeah.
Hi, Helen.
Who
Good
moved in?
morning, everyone.
Yeah, have you moved into your new house yet?
I'm going to teach you a song of hope, a song of resilience, a song of determination from South Africa. Would you mind rising if you are able? Put a little energy in your bodies. We're going to do this song with the Spirit Choir. I'll sing a phrase, you sing it back to me. Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Freedom is coming! Freedom is coming! That's the whole thing. We'll put it together. Let's do those 4 phrases. I know some of you know this song already. Sing out, help the people around you. Let's do it. 2, 3. Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Freedom is coming! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Freedom is coming! I think you got it. Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Freedom is coming! Right, and then we're going to sing Freedom is Coming, and then we're going to be really determined about it and say, oh, yes, I know! Oh, yes, I know! Oh, yes, I know! And then we'll come back, sing. I'm going to switch these two. I'm going to put peace in the middle. Peace is coming, peace is coming, peace is coming. May it be so. Justice is coming, justice is coming. Just come along with us and the choir for the ride. Feel free to move, take it into your bodies. Ready, choir? All right. Dum, dum. We're going to start with the congregation, though. 1, 2, 3. Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Freedom is coming! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Freedom is coming! Oh, freedom! Freedom is coming! Freedom is coming! Freedom is coming! Oh, yes, I know! Freedom is freedom! Oh, freedom!
So this is the time for all ages, and if you would like to join me, I would love that. So continuing on with the singing, I'd like to teach you a song. It's a cozy, warm, and welcoming song that involves tea and a table. So I'm going to sing a line, and then it'd be great if you guys, maybe some choir folks, would like to sing along with me. It goes like this. Let the fall leaves fall. Let the fall leaves fall. Wow, great. And the cold snow, snow. And the cold snow, snow. And the rain, rain down till April. And the rain, rain down till April. The kettle has boiled. The kettle has boiled, and the tea is set, and the tea is set. All are welcome at my table. All are welcome at my table. Thank you. So I have a story for you, and my story also involves a tea and a table, and the welcome, we'll see about that. I just want you to look at the front cover. So we have a rabbit, a bird, and a fox, and we also have another animal. Do we know what the animal is? No, we don't. How do you think these three animals are, what do you think these three animals are thinking about this animal? Are they being welcoming? What do you think? You shaking your heads? Yeah. Well, we'll find out. And then I wonder what's in the suitcase. This is called The Suitcase by Chris Naylor Ballesteros. The suitcase. A strange animal arrived one day, looking dusty, tired, sad, and frightened. He was pulling a big suitcase. Hey, hi there. What's in your suitcase? My suitcase? Well, there's a teacup. There's a teacup? That's a big suitcase for a little teacup. Yes, I suppose it is. But there's a table for my teacup and a wooden chair for me to sit on, too. There's a table and a chair in your suitcase? Impossible. Well, it's his suitcase. But a table and chair? Really? Yes. And there's a little kitchen in a wooden cabin where I make my tea. That's my home. It's on a hillside surrounded by trees, and on a clear day you can see the sea. It's all there in my suitcase. But I'm sorry, I'm really very, very tired. I've been traveling a long time and come a long way. I must have a little rest. What a strange animal! I've never seen anything like him before. Neither have I, but we really should let him sleep for a while. Well, I don't trust him. How do we know he's telling the truth? There's only one way to find out. Someone pass me a big rock. We're going to break open that suitcase and see what's inside. we should. We need to know the truth. You can't do that. It's not ours. In no time at all, the suitcase was open. See, a broken teacup and an old photograph. He lied to us. Well, no, he did say there was a teacup. Yes, and now his suitcase is broken too. What will he think of us? Meanwhile, the sleeping stranger dreamed about running away and hiding, about climbing over mountains and swimming across deep waters. And he dreamed about his suitcase and all that he had inside it. When he finally woke up, he couldn't believe what the animals had done. I wasn't expecting that.
What happened?
Sorry. I should have been showing it to you guys. It's a little late for that. I'm sorry I broke your teacup, your suitcase. We fixed it as best we could. And we've been busy while you were sleeping. We hope you like it. Thank you. It's perfect. There's just one tiny problem. Anybody know what it could be?
There's only one teacup?
Exactly. We're going to need more teacups. Better late than never, sorry. And what did they do with the... It almost looks like his house in the photo, right? They made him, fixed a house for him and painted it. And there they are. That's his old house, and there they are. It looks as though they're toasting to their friendship with the tea. So why do you think the animals wanted to fix everything while this animal was sleeping? How did they feel? Maybe they wanted, yeah?
Maybe they were sad for him because they thought it was special to him.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, you were saying they thought he was sad because it was special to him. Yeah. I thought it might be fun to act this out. What do you guys think? There's 4 of us, and then we can make our own props, maybe put on a little play, and maybe at some point show it to you guys. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah? Yeah, we'll work that out. Thank you.
are a hard act to follow. Our meditation is simple. The meditation for the program, Widening the Circle of Concern, is one of the meditations is loving kindness. So we'll do it in 3 parts: I, you, and we. So I'll begin with, and just ask you to sit comfortably. Just get comfortable in your body, in your chair. Sink in. May I be at peace. May my heart remain open. May I awaken to the light of my own true nature. May I be healed. May I be a source of healing for all beings. May you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed. May you be a source of healing for all beings. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we awaken to the light of our own true nature. May we be healed. May we all be a source of healing for all beings. This is a Buddhist prayer. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. May I be at peace. May you be at peace. May we all be at peace. Amen. It's always interesting to me who shows up. Because I was thinking about widening the circle, and I was thinking about the first time I arrived here with my little boy, who was 10, and my husband, who was God knows what age. And I was remembering the people who greeted me. We were strangers. We had come from the United States, although I am a Canadian. And I remembered Joan. And I remember talking with her, and I remember what she wore, and I remember her warmth to me. And others too, some who are not here anymore. But I remember Joan, and there she is, Joan Walder, welcomed me. I want you to think throughout the service today about who welcomed you and how you have been welcomed. I remember when I first attended the International Folk Dance Circle at the JCC, I was just watching, as a new person, just watching people whirl by, and a tall Jewish woman opened the circle in midstream by extending a hand and not just inviting me and pulling me in to the circle beside her. It was my introduction to years of Friday night dancing and new friendships beyond my university circle of friends. Barbara widened the circle by breaking it open and making it one person bigger. We remained friends. She took me with her to Saturday services at Shul, at her synagogue, and included me in many Jewish holidays as a guest at her table. I did study Talmud and Torah, but a lot of what I learned from Barbara. When did someone widen the circle or open the circle for you? I'm sorry I have my back to you. For you. Have you widened the circle for someone else? Maybe someone here. Can you recall a time when being excluded from a circle left a mark on you, or it hurt? Can you think of anyone who needs you to widen the circle for them? Sometimes I'm surprised when we hold a gathering at our house and we try to keep it wide, and somebody will say, "I'm so glad you included me," and it doesn't seem like a big deal, but to that person it meant a lot. What do we mean by this month's theme, widening the circle? What comes to mind is inclusivity and welcoming new people into our congregation. That's good. That is part of it, but there's more to it. As I've discovered, as I delve into widening, oh, thank you for that. Widening the Circle of Concern, the report of the UUA Commission on Institutional Change. That's it on the left. That came out in 2020, so it's recent. In 2017, the UUA, Unitarian Universalist Association Commission on Institutional Change, was formed as a response to barriers within our UU faith. The Unitarian Universalist Association charged the Commission with supporting long-term cultural and institutional change that redeems the essential promise and ideals of Unitarian Universalism. And that's a big order. Changing a culture, changing an institution. The guiding principle of the Commission is this: to keep Unitarian Universalism alive, we must privilege the voices that have been silenced or drowned out or ignored, and dismantle elitist and exclusionary privilege, which inhibits connection and creativity. We must privilege the voices that have been silenced. The study guide includes sections on theology, governance, congregations and communities, hospitality and inclusion, living our values in the world, religious, professionals, education for liberation. It's a tall order. It's a lot of sections. We can do it. So some may ask, you may ask, is this another American UU thing? Is this another thing that's being pushed north and that we've been asked to adopt? And then we say, no, we're different. No, a Canadian response in the form of a study guide is being developed. This Canadian version is based on the UUA study guide, and it's called Widening the Circle of Concern. And that's it on the right. Top right, very simple. And many hands went into this, many organizations. I admit that when Reverend Samaya Oakley asked the UU Ministers of Canada to become involved in forming teams of lay leaders and religious professionals to engage in learning an adapted Canadian version of the study guide, I did not respond. I put it aside. It was another thing to do at the time. The report and study guide just looked too complicated, and it looked like a lot of work. CUC offered a training program for facilitators early this year. So far, only one congregation has taken up the challenge, or one Canadian congregation has taken up the challenge for offering the sessions in Canada, and that is Hamilton First, with leadership from Beverly Horton, who was very instrumental in bringing about the eighth principle in Canada for Unitarians. On May 20th, 2023, sessions were offered at the CUC Symposium in Ottawa. They were facilitated by the Widening the Circle team of Reverend Samaya Oakley, Beverly Horton, Reverend Shauna Lingood, Kirsten Moore, Janet Pivnik, and Diana Smith. Some of us from neighborhood attended. Is there anybody here who attended? Who attended that session, Widening the Circle? You didn't? Okay. Suzanne did, and I did, and Wilburn did, Tony, Helen, a few others, and Moira. No, okay, Moira. But we were all around. We were the session offered by the CUC Widening the Circle of Concern team was an interactive experiential exploration into the systemic barriers that hold our communities back. It was both challenging and energizing. I still felt a little overwhelmed by the rubric. There were so many parts. But this was the premise. In order to become the fully inclusive communities we long to be, we cannot cling to the status quo. What does it mean to be a Unitarian Universalist at this time of existential questioning and transitioning, particularly after the pandemic? We have been forever changed, and we are finding our way. How do we balance listening, hearing, and understanding with guiding our congregations forward? How do we understand growth? Is it simply the numbers? Or is it how we grow in spirit and how we grow in relationship? How do we become truly inclusive? The hope was that we would come away with tools, insights, and greater clarity that we could bring back to our congregation. And we did. And we will. Tony Rappaport asked if those who had been present could come together and begin to work with the materials. And so, this is an emerging neighborhood group called, wait for it, Widening the Circle. Yes. So we met on October 4th in the office, and we will meet again, and I can't remember the date that we set, but I will let you know. If you are interested, talk with me or any of us who were there, and we can bring you into that circle. Why do we take this on? Why do we take on another thing? Some say, didn't we just pass the 8th principle, and wasn't that a heck of a lot of work? Do we have to keep talking about anti-racism and ableism and xenophobia and homophobia and oppression? And there's so much else. There's so much to be concerned about in this world. The program is based on the 8th principle, but goes beyond. For me, it is a deep exploration into all the layers that keep us from being truly inclusive as we struggle with our internal biases and deep-rooted preferences to be with the people who are most like us. Widening the Circle of Concern is more than an anti-racism program. It is a deep dive into the past, present, and future of our denomination and the creation of what we have come to call beloved community. When I feel overwhelmed, I am inspired by this quote. This is how you change the world. The smallest circles first. That humble energy, the kind that says, I will do what I can right now in my own small way. And that creates a ripple effect on the world. These are not my words, but the words of Richard Wagamese, from One Drum Stories and Ceremonies for the Planet. The smallest circles. I will do what I can right now. My UU faith has been an important part of my spiritual development. I believe in our 8 principles and in the ways of expressing them, our ways of expressing them publicly, advocating for the world of justice, equity, and compassion we know is possible. And we know this world is not yet there, which calls us into doing the work that is needed to create it. It may be a simple statement to say my faith calls me into action, but it is sometimes so hard to live. Even, and especially on days when the news is so bad. Did you see the Toronto Star yesterday, the cover? It was about war and escalation. It was a big black square. There is much devastating news in the world. In particular, we are stunned and aggrieved by the news reports of escalating violence in the Hamas-Israeli conflict. The conflict is not limited to those regions. This war has affected us all as we search for ways to respond. In the CUC National Statement on Conflict between Israel and Hamas, we are called to think inclusively. This statement was just issued on October 12th, so last week. This is an excerpt. Our hearts are with all in Israel and Gaza who are suffering and living in fear, and with all those whose lives have been lost. To the members of our community who are Israeli, Jewish, or Palestine, or Muslim, we are with you in your sorrow and your grief. We join other faith organizations in calling on the Government of Canada to seek a peaceful resolution to the situation in Israel and Gaza, one that honors international human rights agreements and our commitments to international law and international conventions. I'm proud of our CUC. This is a statement from the newly elected UUA President, Reverend Sophia Betancourt. UUA is the Unitarian Universalist Association, which is centered in the United States. As a tradition, Unitarian Universalists have long worked for peace, and our principles and values call for the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. I pray for the people of Israel and Palestine. I pray for leaders around the globe who must respond to this latest flare of violence and untenable ethical considerations that abound. I pray for Muslims and Jewish UUs who experience the impact of this long strife acutely. Be gentle with yourselves when you need to be, but do not turn away unless you must. We are one global family living tenuously on the same human-impacted earth. Let us center ourselves in justice as we call for peace. So how then does a program like Widening the Circle apply to this conflict? Well, we begin with compassion, something that Peter lifted up, and we extend loving kindness. We also experience our own tears. We grieve, perhaps even taking a day away from the news while we tend to our inner despair for the world or our anguish for someone who is personally touched, a friend or neighbor who has lost someone. We deal with our fears for safety, the safety of this world. We do our own spiritual work and seek inner peace and wisdom, but we do not stop there. We do not stay there because we are called. We are called to move beyond disbelief, fear, and anger, beyond blame and guilt, to a place where we can be of service. Doing nothing is not an option, even though we may feel helpless and overwhelmed at this time. In conversations on anti-racism, Wilbur Hayden, who is my beloved spouse and a former member of Neighborhood, offers this guideline. I'm tempted to do it in his accent, but I won't. And his cadence, you can only change what you can touch. You can only change what you can touch. So simple. What he means by this is that we start with who and what is around us. We cannot go to the Middle East and distribute food or form a human shield. We cannot go to the Ukraine. We can reach out to our neighbors, though. We are in a unique position of sharing space with a Jewish group, the Jewish Danforth Circle, this very space. I have reached out to Reverend Elisa Glickman, and wrote a card, but I found it hard to find the right words. There is no Hallmark card for this. We can also reach out in the coming weeks and months by perhaps holding a community meal with the Jewish Danforth Circle. This is a time, nothing is planned, nothing exactly, but this is a time for our neighborhood community to reach out to the Jewish Danforth Circle with compassion for their pain. No doubt it will be hard to find the right words. We will have an opportunity to attend the multi-faith vigil called Morning Together on October 29th at 3 p.m. I am calling on friends and members of neighborhood to be there in solidarity. Laura Thomas, who is with us, advises that we are not spreading the news of the vigil on social media for safety reasons. There won't be a flyer. We are keeping it to our East Toronto multi-faith community and Muslim partner communities only. Please attend if you can. We are already involved in the Out of the Cold program in collaboration with EUU, Eastminster United. Let's keep doing that. Speak to neighbors, make phone calls, send messages to those who are hurting for whatever reasons. I make a practice of saying hello to 10 people a day, and my family reassures me that this is no great thrill for them, but I do it anyway. Teenagers, hi. There are also questions we can consider as a congregation. What specific actions has our congregation taken to address barriers to inclusion? Which barriers have we addressed? Which are we planning to address? How has our congregation's our community's actions resulted in greater inclusivity? And how do we know? So I think it's important to come up with things we can do, but it's also very important to recognize what we do, and we do a lot here. We get feedback on everything in order to know, we get feedback on everything from accessibility to feeling valued and included. Here at Neighborhood, I have witnessed inclusion and centering of voices, stories, music, and heritage of marginalized people in our Sunday services. Visibility and acknowledgement of gender diversity within Sunday services has been warmly received by trans members, and we've gotten that feedback. In conclusion, I leave you with these words from Widening the Circle. Welcome to Widening the Circle. Let us do whatever it takes to meet each other face to face, and having found each other, let us stare and struggle, fight and forgive, call in and call out until me and you dissolves into us. This is the way we become whole. Next week, we will talk about the circle again, a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. Thank you for listening.
So I've been talking a lot, and you've just heard Reverend Pat. Now we're going to widen the circle and have you talk. So I'd ask you to share an experience, not telling a long story, but a few words about a time in your life when someone widened the circle to let you in. Does anyone have a story they'd like to share?
My story is when I met the mother of my daughter, and she's French Canadian. She was French Canadian, and she took me home to her parents. it was amazing to watch their faces. And then after they got to know me, it was amazing to watch them struggle to try and widen their circle to embrace me. Eventually, their biases fell away and they were able to do it.
When I was about grade 11, I was a conservative young man, and I believed the Newsweek interpretation of the world. And one day, a teacher of mine, Charlie Novogrodsky, invited me and a few other students to come work on his pet project, which was printing this socialist newsletter that we gave out. And that absolutely changed my life that day.
Thank you, David.
Yes, my circle got widened also because of Joan. She encouraged me for years to join the choir and come to service here, and I ignored it for about 5 years. And then I ran into her and I said, oh, she said, are you going to join the choir yet? And I'm like, yeah. I've been here ever since.
We're grateful for it.
Halfway through grade 10, my family moved, and I had to join a new high school. I was very, very shy, and a group of people brought me into their circle. It was actually called the Super Sucky Sewing Circle. But they were wonderful people, and some of them are still friends today, including Gordon. That changed my life. I felt so, it comforted me to be part of a group of people in high school. It was a really tough one, so yeah.
And we'll hear one last one.
Yeah, I could actually pinpoint the exact date when this happened for me. It was December 10th, 1984. I was 22 years old, and I approached a church hungover, looking for my first AA. I was going to my first AA meeting, and I was greeted by a group of men at the top of the stairs, and they said, welcome, come on in. There's a room full of friends who really want to meet you right now. And my world's never been the same since, so I thank those men for being there and for that room full of friends that I never met before that was there for me when I needed it most.
Thanks. So we've talked about widening the circle, and one of the places we need to do that is the circle around our finances. We all spend money on essential items that we can't live without, but having a spiritual home is an essential item too. So I ask you to share with neighborhood by offerings in the basket, predated checks, e-transfers or automatic withdrawals, and also by volunteering, by offerings for the upcoming auction, and by helping to meet our communal needs. The greeters will pass the basket for those who choose to make contributions while Suzanne plays. If you're online, please use the link displayed on the screen, which leads you to our donation page. And in all ways, I ask you to be generous. Greeters, when the money has been collected, please bring the baskets up to me.
While the baskets are going around, I'd like you to teach you the chorus of the song we're going to sing to close the service, so that you'll be able to join the spirit choir in singing. So you can just stay seated for now as the baskets pass you. And if you could repeat after me. I lost my pitch. Hold on a sec. That's the one. This is not written by Pat Humphries of Emma's Revolution. So sorry. That was last week's written by. This song actually comes out of the folk music tradition and comes out of late 19th century, actually, and has been redone and reinterpreted by many folk artists over the years. Okay, so the phrase goes, you made me a pallet on the floor. Can we do that? You made me a pallet on the floor. Second phrase is same as the first. You made me a pallet on the floor. And the next bit goes, when I had no place to go, you opened up your door. When I had no place to go, you opened up your door. And you made me a pallet on the floor. And you made me a pallet on the floor. Let's just try the whole thing. You made me a pallet on the floor. You made me a pallet on the floor. When I had no place to go, you opened up your door and you made me a pallet on the floor. Keep that in your head and we'll sing it all together in 30 seconds.
If you have found love and acceptance here, if you have found a home here, if you have known kindred spirits here, then this offering is a token of your gratitude for our common life, as together we widen the circle and build a common good. And now, 30 seconds later, it's time for our song. Our chalice. ask you to reach out, take someone's hand, hold someone's shoulder as I leave you with this blessing. May the power that created a world of diversity and vibrancy inspire us to embrace life in all its fullness. May the mystery that teaches us to care for strangers and foreigners inspire us to be good neighbors in our community. Our service is over. Go in peace.